Hey traders, Mike Katz here with 7 Points Capital, bringing you today's trader takeaways. The market as a whole was kind of quiet. I mean, we are still in this sideways range. We've talked about this flag area. The market sold off early because of the North Korea news that they're pulling out of discussions completely, and it looked pretty bad in the morning on a fast drop in the market, but then it just kind of bottomed and had a sharp V bottom and ended up squeezing higher, just grinding and grinding. And we finished off the lows on a hammer type of a day. So be interesting to see which way we go. A lot of symbols were making new highs. As a whole, the market still feels okay. If we break 274, then I think we could potentially get a higher move. But right now we're still in the sideways range, and we're still in making lower highs from the 280 and 282 levels on the SPY. So market wise, we're still sideways, but a lot of action in different names. We had less of the earnings plays, but we had a few runners on small cap land that was really helpful. Let's look at SBOT. That was a good one. Before I mention SBOT, glad to mention that LFIN is finally opened, and that's out of the way. Was able to cover today, and just really nice just to get that off of the position minder every day, just having to watch it there and not being able to do anything about it. And it's going to be nice to just come in and not have to worry about LFIN anymore. But that was very good. And SBOT was a runner where, let's see, it's a former runner. You can see that it doesn't hold gains well on the daily, and this one ended up being a pretty nice trade for us. And the bar was pretty easy, not too bad. Let me just get rid of some of these drawings here, and we can kind of look at what was going on here. So this thing starts to go up pre-market, pulls back, healthy move, healthy pullbacks, just keeps on making higher high, higher low, and then basically jams at 350. I actually took a stab at it here. Let's see my executions. Yeah, so I took a stab at it early, thinking that this was going to curl down, and then got stopped out a couple of times. Just feeler starters, and ended up beginning red on this one. But when I saw that this topping candle was pretty big, got rejected, I started scaling it again and got some pretty decent fills. And then when it started going sideways, I was able to get some more size, and then a little more as it was breaking this 310 level. There was a decent sized bid here, and then when it cracked, I was able to add some more on the bounce here. And I want to talk about it on the volume profile. Basically, when it went sideways here, instead of giving another bounce and a higher low and higher high as it was doing before, it just went sideways. The sellers stepped in and they were unloading shares, and probably a lot of people who were chasing late to the party, thinking this could be a good bounce off of VWAP, this could be a continuation of higher lows. They didn't get the actual pop, and then it started looking like a head and shoulders. And I call this my left shoulder setup, where I'll start to kind of leg into a position as it's kind of looking, maybe it's head and shoulders, and you could see like right there. So it's definitely a lot of anticipation there, but I start with a feeler just to see, make sure that this can potentially reject here. And considering the volume that was going on, it ended up being a good entry. Went sideways, cracked 310, bounced, but then couldn't really get back above. Got rejected by VWAP, couldn't reclaim this level where a lot of people were stuck long, and then it was just off to the races from there, grinding lower. A few bounces, what threw me off, I probably didn't have as much as I really should have had on this. It was a decent sized position, but it wasn't anything insane. But the reason is because on the tape I just kept seeing a buyer, and I've been seeing a lot of that lately, and it's been throwing me off, and a few times it's been having me size down because of it. And I might consider, just in some of these trash names, just focus on the chart more and don't get thrown off by any buyer or seller that might be on the tape. So we'll see. But basically, I could have been bigger if I hadn't noticed that buyer, but he kept on getting overpowered. And then at this point, there was a headline that they converted a lot of their warrants, and bam, it took a wash, and I used that opportunity to scale out of the rest. So overall, it was a nice day in this one. Used this drop to get out of it. Probably could have done a better job and given it some space, but you know, I could have done better. I could have definitely done a little bit better on this one, both with having more size and on the covers. But it still ended up being my best stock on the day, so that was pretty good. What else? SBOT, and then CHCI. This one was something we noticed late. I didn't even see it early on, and it's probably a good thing that I didn't see it early on, because this looks like it might have been trapping shorts a little bit here as it was flagging. So if we look at this action here, you know, I could definitely see myself probably trying a short on something like this versus, you know, above 5, especially when it gets this over under, potentially fails at 5. I would probably have tried it here, and then who knows, I might have, you know, even sized up there, but I didn't see it till later on. And when it broke out from here, I had it on my radar, and I was watching for it to get parabolic potentially. What I was interesting was the weekly. There was a level here, 625, where it topped out before and had a huge drop from there. So I had 625 in mind, $6 in mind, and was able to pretty much do that. Wait for the backside. I think I did a pretty good job waiting for the backside. You had this big flag here, and then it broke out, got parabolic, volume came in quite a bit in this last 10 minutes before the drop, and then it gives a big wash from 650 to 585. Didn't do anything there. A lot of times these big washes in something that's trending up and is squeezing, these big washes a lot of times get bought up and goes up pretty quickly and reclaims back to new highs. But this one was not able to. Instead of reclaiming everything, it stayed at, let me zoom in a little bit. It stayed at the lower half of the bar. So those that like the fibs, you know, I don't really use these charts that often. I use Thinkorswim, but this is probably from here. Let's see, 660 to 585. That's looking like an 85-cent drop. So 40 cents is right here. So this is a 50% retracement, and that's pretty much all it was able to do. And then when I saw that it couldn't really reclaim this bar, started getting tired and curling down, then I started getting in on the short side. As it worked, I added, was in the money by a little bit, came back, kept my stop above day high, and then this failed again and ended up covering half into this wash, and then the rest just scaling out into the close. So that was pretty good, CHCI. And overall, a good day. Market kind of feels a little bit on the quieter side, probably because earnings is winding down. You had a few plays in Best Buy. I didn't end up trading this. It just looked like, you know, most of the move was pre-market, and then afterwards it had a couple dollar range. I didn't end up trading this, but Best Buy had earnings. Oh, and PBR. I forgot about PBR. This one was pretty good, where they had some news. I'll let you guys look it up. I don't want to waste any more time, but this was pretty good. Became SSR, good volume. And then on this move up, I ended up giving back some of my day. Tried it a little bit more afterwards, and I was done with it. But this was also pretty good. And that's it. So thank you guys for watching. Going into the long weekend. Hopefully everybody enjoys the long weekend. If I don't talk to you guys tomorrow, see you guys next week. And good luck trading. Thanks.